Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're looking at something pretty fascinating. How do you apply data science, really rigorous data science, to something as unpredictable as pro sports, specifically the NFL, week one predictions? But these aren't your typical forecasts. We're talking algorithms, advanced ones. And what they kind of tell us about prediction itself, we've got this unique blueprint from an expert, Michael Tofte Jr. He actually claims his methods have worked well for, the Super Bowl, even whole seasons.
That's right. Though he does note, and this is important, that week to week can be, well, a different beast entirely.
Okay. So our mission today, let's unpack how these algorithms are making their calls for week one of the 2025 season. And maybe more importantly, what can we learn about predictive modeling from all this?
It's a really interesting perspective he offers,
Right.
especially how he even defines success. It's not what you might initially think.
Okay, yeah, let's unpack this. Let's dive into those numbers. So right at the start, Tufte Jr. explains how he measures success. He's got a whole section, how I will measure success.
Yeah.
And it's not really about getting every score perfect or just win-loss percentages. It's different, more practical, maybe.
Exactly. He specifically uses what he calls gambler's math.
Accurate.
Now, he's very clear, okay? He says he's not condoning gambling or promoting it, but he points out that the math behind it, well, it's one of the most efficient and effective systems there is, and that is why it's so profitable. So he's borrowing those principles, things like expected value, probability, essentially ways to quantify risk and reward when things are uncertain.
Right.
He's very outcome-focused.
Right, that makes sense. It's about the efficiency of the mathematical framework itself.
Yeah.
And the actual metric. He says if there are, say, 16 games in a week, and if someone were to hypothetically put $10 on each game, that's $160 total. Getting 9 or 10 of those right. That counts as a successful week in his book.
Yeah, it's about that strategic edge, not perfection.
He also adds a note that the score predictions themselves are, quote, for fun. Not really expected to be spot on, even if they sometimes get close.
So, with that success metric in mind, let's look at algorithm A. You can think of this one as like the foundation, the baseline prediction set. It gives you one clear winner, one score for each game. Pretty straightforward, maybe based more on historical data or established trends.
Okay, and algorithm A has some interesting calls just looking through it. Like, it predicts a pretty big win for the Eagles over the Cowboys, 38-20. That's a statement.
Definitely a strong prediction there.
Then you've got closer ones, like the Chiefs just edging out the Chargers, 27-23. But what's really kind of sophisticated are his tie-breaking rules.
Yes, the ties.
Yeah, for games like Bucks, Falcons, Cardinals, Saints. Apparently, all the algorithms initially called them ties, so he has rules, right? Like, home team gets the edge.
Usually, yeah. Unless the home team has a rookie QB starting. That changes things.
Oh, interesting detail.
And if they're division opponents, he notes they often split the series, so that factors in too.
And then there's that Rams versus Texans game. That's conditional.
Right, the Stafford situation.
Algorithm A says Rams win 21-20 if Stafford is healthy and playing. But if he's not, it flips. Texans win 21-20.
Which really shows how sensitive these models can be, or maybe need to be, to key variables like a star quarterback's health. One player can change the entire equation. So if algorithm A is our baseline, our sort of steady prediction, then algorithm B, that's where things get more complex. He says it's run two different ways, which leads to split results sometimes.
Split results. So the same algorithm gives two different answers.
Exactly. This is where it gets really revealing about how algorithms work. It suggests maybe algorithm B is like an ensemble model, or maybe B1 and B2 weigh factors differently. Perhaps one part, B1, focuses more on, say, recent momentum, while B2 leans more on historical matchups. We don't know the specifics, but the differing outputs are key.
Okay, this is interesting because you see games where algorithm B completely flips the winner from algorithm A, like Raiders-Patriots. Algorithm A, Raiders win 2017. Algorithm B, Patriots win 21-20. Total reversal.
Right. And Jets-Steelers is another one. A says Jets 21-20, B says Steelers 27-17.
Wow, that's a bigger score difference, too.
Yeah.
And Seahawks-49ers. A has Seahawks 28-27. B goes with the 49ers 27-24.
So different winners entirely in those cases.
But then you also get splits within algorithm B itself. This is maybe even wilder. Look at Lions versus Packers. Algorithm A picked the Packers 28-27. Closed game.
Okay.
But algorithm B, B1 says Lions win 31-20. B2 says, no, Packers win 31-27.
See, that's fascinating. Two runs of the same algorithm pointing in opposite directions for the win.
And Ravens-Bills, too. Algorithm A, Ravens 28-27.
Okay.
Algorithm B1 also has the Ravens 27-20, but B2, it flips to the Bills 27-24.
So even within B, there's disagreement on the winner.
Although sometimes they agree on the winner, but just differ on the score, right? Like Bears-Vikings.
Yeah, I think that was one. A had Bears 27-10, B1 had Bears 27-20, and B2 had Bears 2013. Still Bears winning across the board, just
Right.
different margins. What's truly fascinating here, I think, is seeing how these subtle changes, maybe different inputs, different weightings, different ways of running the model,
Yeah.
how they can lead to such, well, starkly different outcomes for the exact same game. Really makes you think, doesn't it? It's not necessarily a flaw in the process.
No, maybe it reflects the reality.
Exactly. It reflects the inherent uncertainty in complex systems like sports. The key takeaway isn't which algorithm is right. It's more about understanding that range of possibilities. Even advanced systems, when you tweak them slightly, can give you very different answers. It tells you a lot about the nature of prediction itself. Relying on just one number might miss the bigger picture.
So, okay, what does this mean for you listening? If you're a football fan, or maybe you're into data, or maybe you just find this stuff interesting, it suggests that comparing these different algorithmic takes, it helps you see the nuances, right? Beyond just the final score. It shows how robust, or maybe sometimes how fragile these predictions can be. Getting that single perfect answer, maybe that's rarely the point with complex data.
Absolutely. So to kind of sum it up, Tofte Jr.'s approach gives us this unique window into sports predictions. First, there's the practical success metric using gamblers' math. And second, crucially, seeing how these different algorithms, A versus B, and even B1 versus B2, can diverge, sometimes quite dramatically. It really highlights the variability, even in sophisticated, data-driven forecasting.
Yeah, exactly. It really underscores the value of looking closely at sources like this one. It stops being just about who's going to win and becomes more about understanding the process. How is this information gathered? How is it weighed? How are these predictions actually constructed? It's like a peek behind the data science curtain.
Which leads to maybe a final thought,
Yeah.
something for you to consider. In a world that's increasingly run by algorithms, everywhere, how do we tell the difference between a really solid prediction and what's maybe just a very educated guess? Especially when even the advanced systems can disagree on the same event.
That's a great question. How do you weigh conflicting algorithmic advice? Something definitely to think about. We hope this deep dive gave you some food for thought, maybe spark some curiosity about where else these kinds of data predictions show up in your daily life. Weather, finance, it's everywhere. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.